to Prime News. Now look at the headlines. Crucial interim order by Supreme Court on dumps handling on Monday. Steel industry demands export ban. Wants auction of dumps. Government to file affidavit on stocks. Many foreigner students do not attend classes despite endorsement. Many not registered with FRRO. Educational institutions break law. Special branch report reveals. IFFI countdown begins. Road show for IFFI kicks off. 100 years musical journey of Indian cinema and tribute to late Pran. IFFI to screen 372 cinemas from 72 countries. GCA decides to play safe, resolves to acquire separate land for proposed cricket stadium, shelves its Dhargari cricket stadium projects, GCA to stay away from government-acquired lands. And Haiyan typhoon ravages Philippines, authorities fear around 10,000 dead and missing in disaster. Typhoon displaces millions, Philippines fighting worst disaster ever. Now news in detail. The forest bench headed by Justice A.K. Patnaik will likely pronounce the much-awaited order on disposal of 11.45 million tons of extracted iron ore in Goa on Monday. Mining dependents and the miners are awaiting this crucial order. There is a strong plea before the Apex Court not to allow export of ore but to supply it to auction it out to the domestic steel industry. Goa government will submit its final affidavit in Supreme Court on ore stacked at jetties and leased areas.
All eyes are set on Goa mining matter hearing slated on Monday. Supreme Court will pass its interim orders on Monday. Court will also appoint an expert committee to recommend the cap on the extraction of the ore with intergenerational equity. Bench will likely pronounce its verdict on 11.45 million tons dumps of iron ore lying on around 2,800 hectares of land in Goa. On 31st October, the Supreme Court had reserved its interim order on the Goa mining dispute after 5 weeks of the final hearing on the writ petition filed by the Goa Foundation. Matter has been fixed for November 11 for passing its interim orders. There are indications that court might relax its initial order on Goa mining. It might allow to handle 11.45 million tons extracted iron ore lying as dumps. It will give some relief to the mining dependents who are directly affected due to interim ban on mining from last October. But there is a slight reservation where the court will allow to export the extracted ore. Association of Karnataka Steel Manufacturing Units has already requested Supreme Court not to allow export of ore lying as dumps in Goa. They are ready to buy the ore for steel and iron manufacturing industries. The court has also agreed with petitioner Goa Foundation's plea that the mining should be regulated so that the iron ore reserves are available for future generation. It agreed to set up an expert body to carry out assessment of the reserves and fix the quantity of ore that can be extracted every year. Petitioners has also pleaded for auctioning of the dumps. Meanwhile, the state has finalized mining policy, has cancelled 133 unrenewed leases. The process for fixing a kilometer buffer zone for 6 wildlife sanctuaries has begun with public notice. The government has also set up a high-level monitoring committee under the Chief Secretary. However, there is no significant progress on penalizing the culprits involved in illegal mining and the recovery of lost revenue. The question is, will the Apex Court be impressed with the state measures to relax the mining ban? Only Monday will tell. Reporter Mahesh Ghadi for Prudent.
The special branch report of the police on foreigners staying in Goa on student visa is really alarming. Prudent has got exclusive details of the report. The report explains how many of the students have endorsement of certain institutions but are not studying in those institutions. The report also reveals how many institutions have foreign nationals who are not registered with FRRO. Majority of these students are from Afghanistan.
The report prepared by SP of Special Branch reveals it all. Foreign nationals of different countries enter Goa on students' visas but violate most of the norms of their stay once they settle down. The report points out the following. Many foreign nationals with student visa have endorsement of institutions but are not studying in the same institute. The change in address is not intimated to police and whereabouts of some of them could not be ascertained. Number of students obtain admissions at the visa endorsed institution but take private tuitions. This doesn't end here. The report also reveals how our own educational institutions and some of us Goans violate the norms and facilitate these students. There are a number of private persons giving tuitions to foreign students without being registered. Most of the institutions have no proper system of maintaining attendance registers. Many institutions have foreign students who are not registered at FRO Goa. Interestingly, the foreign students registered with police are from various nationalities. Maximum number of students that are registered with police are Afghan and from Sudan. Police have found out 292 students having students' visa in Goa. This report exposes how even a student visa is manipulated and laws are flouted. Police have now decided to tighten their noose around these educational institutions, facilitating the foreign students. Police had earlier stated how even Nigerians enter India as students and then manage to overstay by manipulating the system. Bureau Report, Prudent.
44th edition of IFFI will showcase 100-year-long musical journey of Indian film industry. The film festival will have a separate section. IFFI 2013 will showcase 372 cinemas from 72 countries. Vishnu Vag flagged off the road show for IFFI on Sunday. The countdown for IFFI has begun.
Last IFFI had featured 100 years of Indian cinema. On the same lines, this year IFFI will screen the musical journey of Indian cinema. IFFI will have a separate section to showcase this journey.
So this year we are in continuation of the 100 years of cinema. We are having the musical journey of Indian cinema. So, because Indian cinema is primarily music oriented, music based. Primary. There are exceptions to this also. Indian cinema is mostly known by the kind of music that is used in Indian cinema. So we were just trying to trace the graph of the music industry since the first film Raju Baba happened. So we are trying to get films pan-India, from all over India. And as part of this, we will also be trying to get some of the musicians associated with this film. Like Asha Bhosle has confirmed that she would be definitely attending. Should be there for the opening.
Around 72 countries are participating in the 44th edition of IFFI this year. Last year, 62 countries had participated. 372 films from 72 countries will be screened during IFFI 2013. This includes 173 films from foreign category and 154 films from Indian category. ESG Vice Chairman Vishnu Vag flagged off the road show for IFFI 2013 on Sunday from the ESG premises in Panji.
Countdown to IFFI 2013 has begun with the launching of the road show in the presence of Director of International Film Festival.
Besides this, the special section will pay tribute to Bollywood actor Pran. IFFI will pay homage to Dadasaheb Phalke Award winner Pran. Special section will showcase best 3 movies of late Pran Saab.
इतनी बुलंद आवाज में ना बोल फतेह खान, इतनी बुलंद आवाज में ना बोल। आवाज तो तेरी एक दिन मैं नीची करूंगा। शेर की तरह गरजने वाला बिल्ली की जबान बोलेगा। हमारे दिल में छुपे नफरत के अंगारों को और हवा न दे। कैदी नंबर 602
हाजिर है।
सर झुकाकर बात करो।
ये सर किसी इंसान के सामने नहीं झुक सकता जेलर साहब।
बहुत खूब, मैं ऐसे ही सरों की कदर करता हूँ।
Bureau Report Prudent.
Rajya Sabha MP Manishankar Iyer pestered the IAS officers and their functioning. He said too much meticulous calculation of funds leads to delay and no funds to panchayat bodies in India. He sarcastically commented on ethics of Congress party. He claims in India a person has to go through a parikrama to get his work through.
The ethic of the Congress party is quite simply that if your work is done, you go to 10 Janpads, go past Bharatvanchu's successors and say thank you to Sonia Gandhi. If there's a chance of your work getting done, you go to 23 Mother Teresa Crescent and ask Ahmed Patel to do it for you. And if you don't have a bloody hope in hell, then you come to Manishankar Iyer and say, "Aap kuch kar sakte hain." If some silly sarpanch gets the money to build a road and builds it within a week, he doesn't get his second installment because on the basis of one village's utilization certificate, Delhi doesn't release the money. It waits for the most inefficient sarpanch to complete his road and provide his certificate, or not complete his road but provide a certificate. And when all the certificates have been gathered in the Goa Sachivalaya, then a joint secretary here will look at how many panchayat, how many utilization certificate, 77, chalo 76 to aa gaye hain, send it to Delhi. By that time it's March, so the second installment is released in March. The best punch has waited from April till March to get his second installment, and just as he's getting ready to do the job in a week's time, is the end of the financial year and money is ille. There's no money to do it. This is called efficiency. This is what all those bright boys, who are mummy's favorites, teachers' pets, this is the system they have set up doing.
Manishankar Iyer was the keynote speaker at the Gandhian Festival of Ideas, Rediscovering the Mahatma. Reporter Mahesh Kari with senior video journalist Tulsidas Chari for Prudent.
It's time for a short break. Stay tuned.